whothatdaily.com. That's right, the whothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Family, check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who That. I'm a Who That. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who That. Lose or winning, I'm a Who That. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who That. I'm a Who That. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a Who That. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who That. Lose or winning, I'm a Who That. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who That. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Hey, Jarvis, just starting out, what does this mean to you to be coming here and playing for the Saints and coming home?
It's a special time. As a kid growing up, being from Louisiana, you always want to play for your hometown team. So it's a blessing to be here and to have this opportunity.
Any guess?
Yeah, welcome home. What was this process like for you in terms of just how long it took for you to find your spot?
Yeah, it was a bit stressful, you know. But it gave me an opportunity to train like I wanted to, be with my family, spend time with my family, but also gave me an opportunity to be able to call New Orleans home. I had a great visit when I came. Me and Mickey spoke. Me and DA spoke. I had a great conversation with Jameis. That led to future conversations down the road that ultimately leads to me sitting here in this seat that were very important and instrumental in me actually deciding to be a New Orleans Saints.
Rob Walker?
Hey, Jarvis, what's been the response from your friends, guys like Tyron and those guys? And also, that just what do you think your role could be in this offense?
Yeah, man, everything has been kind of what has been expected. Everybody's just, saying congratulations, let's get to work. And obviously what's expected of me, just continue to be who I am, continue to be a leader, continue to make plays, continue to be a man of the community, and doing my part in the community. And that's all the things that I'm looking forward to doing.
Hey, Jarvis. I know it's kind of general, but how big of a Saints fan were you growing up?
I was a huge Saints fan. I was a huge Saints fan. I also was a TO fan at the time, so I was going back and forth, but I always kept a close eye on the hometown team.
Nick Underhill?
What were some of those conversations with Jameis that you said kind of played a part in you coming here?
Yeah, just understanding, the dynamic of, the receivers that have been here. Obviously, understanding the dynamic of the team, the culture, the coaching staff. About the coaching staff and how the organization is ran as a whole. And that's something for me going into my 9th season and being a pro. Like, I want to walk into a situation when culture is set, walk into a situation where, everybody's working on one accord, and that's something that's very important to me at this stage in my career, and obviously have an opportunity to know what Jameis is going to do back there. So knowing that I'll have some chance to make some plays out there too.
Why are you smiling when you mentioned Jameis?
Because that's one thing he's going to do. He's going to throw it, He's going to throw it, and he's going to make plays, and he's going to trust his guys to make plays for him. And as a receiver, that's all you need, That's all you want.
Yeah, have you talked to Tyron lately? It's been a while since you were teammates.
Yeah, no, it's been a while, but yeah, we've spoken these last 2 weeks. His birthday was actually yesterday as well, so we spoke. We've been speaking. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's a New Orleans Saint. And honestly, to tell you the truth, one of the reasons, again, too, he's another reason why I wanted to actually be here. Everything that he means to the game, obviously, but the leadership that he's shown since high school when I met him at a Tennessee camp, doing one-on-ones, and the thing about the year has been instrumental in the player that I've become, and to have an opportunity to play on this level at this stage here in New Orleans is something that's very special to him, to me, and I think our conversations kind of, led to there, and we'll continue on from there.
Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, you put pen to paper earlier, wearing the hat with the Florida lead. Has it hit you yet, or?
The more I look at this screen, he told me to look up at this camera up here. But the more and more I look up at the screen, it's definitely setting in, and it's an amazing feeling. I would say that.
Nick Underhill?
How do you see maybe yourself and Mike and Chris Olave kind of complementing one another and fitting in with?
I mean, we all have different types of skill sets. Me and Mike more similar, but at the end of the day, I think, we all are a problem. We all pose a type of threat. And especially here in this offense where things are interchangeable, different types of personnels, different weapons. You can't ever leave out AK and the things that he does for the running game, and then obviously getting Jameis back healthy. And under center is going to be important.
Like Triplett?
Hey, Jarvis, I apologize if this is a repeat, but, waiting until May to sign, did you end up choosing sort of fit and location over money at some point? I mean, could you have taken more money at some point, but this was more important to you to find the right place and the right fit?
Yeah, I think there were some opportunities out there, but as we continue to game plan on what I really wanted, and what I wanted to achieve and accomplish, that quickly got narrowed down to a few teams, and once it played out and got to where it was after the draft, the situation about money, it was more about, like you said, it's about fit, it was about location, and those became the priorities for me and my camp and making a decision to be a New Orleans Saint.
And were the conversations with Tyron just, hey, this would be cool, or was it even more calculated than that? Were you guys like, we could both go here, and wouldn't this be?
Yeah, I mean, That would have been good if we could have planned this, you know. But I think we both were kind of watching, you know. We both were kind of watching, taking our time, and you know, kind of understanding our situation and our position and what we wanted to achieve, you know, and where we had the best opportunities to achieve those things from a team perspective and you know, as players, as individuals. So I think you know, it kind of played out the way that it did, and happy it did because you know, there's not many that I've played with that I hold to a high regard as I do.
A 1-year deal for you, if I read correctly. Does that add any extra pressure for you? Just going into the season knowing that it's just for 1 year?
Yeah, well, I don't really necessarily believe in pressure. You know, I think this is a great opportunity for me to get back playing great football. You know, for an amazing organization. And who knows, maybe this more here in New Orleans. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I'm counting on.
John Hendricks.
Hey Jarvis, it's big, and just over the past several years, what are some of the biggest things that you've learned about yourself, and just things that you may be wanting to be an improvement on going into another year in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, just growing through adversity. That's kind of one of the things that's been consistent. You know, having success and not winning, or not having success and still not winning, or whatever it is, injuries, the business side of it, you know, things that I've learned throughout the process, but also things that I'm grateful for because, again, I wouldn't be here today to be able to, you know, talk to you guys, to be able to wear these colors and all.
All right, that's Jarvis Landry chiming in on his thoughts, man. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all for tuning in this thing. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. What's up, fam? Appreciate y'all chiming in on the Monday stream. Much love to the great Saint. A lot going on in the Who Dat Nation. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for signing up and signing in today, checking in today. Much love with the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all. We got several news, notes, and items to talk about on this episode of the Coma, so please feel free to hit upon the like button. Hit the hell out the like button. Also, please feel free to hit the notification bell, as well as subscribe, baby. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you are a subscriber. Much love to the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all for being in this sucker. Having had some internet issues, fam. That's why we kind of starting late here, but it's all a good baby. We in this mug and we doing it. You know, I'm about to say something else, but we here. We are here. So much love to the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Appreciate you. Much love. Jarvis Landry, you heard him. He's always been a Saints man through and through. Went all the way around to come back home. Same with Tyrann Mathieu. Appreciate Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen for making it happen. That's what the big part about this is that these guys were here and they finally made it happen, and I'm very proud of that, the fact that they did get the deal done. So anyway, we all know that the Jarvis Landry signing was a 1-year deal with $6 million, up to $6 million. I think 3 of it is guaranteed, I want to say, but just a spectacular contract. What can I tell you? I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, the kind of contract the Saints got this man on. This is over the last 5 or 6 years. Jarvis Landry is one of the best wide receivers. His production in terms of his receptions was up there among the top 5, top 6 in the league. And man, only thing I can tell you is that you got him for up to $6 million with 3 of it guaranteed. Special deal. I mean, you could say you can even assume and say that a lot of that was due to the fact that he gave the Saints perhaps a hometown special. Because maybe he could have got more. I mean, the Browns, they said, gave him a low ball number, but he chose the Saints. He chose the Saints to come home. So listen, regardless of whatever it is, I'm happy to have him here because he fits an obvious need in the Saints slot. He becomes the Saints' ultimate slot wide receiver. Yet on paper, of course, when he gets out on the field, he would then show what he can do. So much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the live stream on this. And we got a few things to talk about, and we'll move into it. So hit the like button, fam. Feel free to hit the like button. We're experiencing a few technical issues, but please walk with me through this stuff, because I mean that's what kept me from getting it on anyway. So anyway, we're gonna keep on moving. So much love to the fam. Hit the like button as we get ready to jump on in this thing. And of course, we just talked about the Jarvis Landry. We just mentioned Jarvis. We just spoke about his money deal, and the fact that we heard him earlier speak about just being happy to be in the Who Dat building. And we glad to have this guy here, to be honest with you, man. I'm so happy to have him here. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic, and that's Drew Brees announcing he may play football in 2022. We did like a early little 5-minute breakdown of it early. Was going to cover this last night. I heard some of the stuff that was going on with, you heard Drew Brees and saying all this happened because they tore up his contract at the network. And then he comes out with the tweet, and this is from Canal Street Chronicles. They covered a lot of it. Drew Brees done at NBC after 1 year as an NFL TV analyst, and the Post learning, of course, it's built on this tweet by Drew. Despite the speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC. I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour, coach my kids, all of the above. I'll let you know. Now, of course, Dennis Allen did respond and said he just thought it was done in jest. You know, so I mean, and I agree. Yeah, you're right, Kenny. QB coach. But listen, the idea is, and we you know, I posted this in the comment section or the description section of the video, the one we did earlier today, just a 5-minute talk about Drew Brees, is the fact that Drew Brees is still under contract with the Saints. They have his status as retired, but he's still under 1 more year contract with the Saints. That's why a lot of people are looking at it saying, come on now. Yeah, Drew Brees is still under contract. That's the only part about this that's interesting. It's the fact that he may play football again and some of the many options that he has, but he's still under contract with the Saints. The Saints still have his rights. It's crazy, right? But anyway, Dennis Allen did respond. He thought it was unjust. But listen, let's get this clear. This is not Drew Brees' team anymore. This is Jameis Winston's club. Okay? Let's get that situated, fam. This is Jameis Winston's club. This is not Drew Brees' club anymore. This is Jameis Winston's club. This is his team. So, I mean, Drew stepped out of the way, just like Sean Payton stepped out of the way. When you step out of the way, don't come up here talking about I won't come back. It's too late. It's like the late, great Dick Gregory would say, it's over. So, I mean, it's over in many ways for Drew Brees in many respects. Jameis Winston is here. Andy Dalton is the backup. What is Drew going to settle for? The 3rd string quarterback position? I think not. But the crazy part is he's still under contract with the Saints. But nah, this is merely just mere fanciful rhetoric. I don't think Drew Brees is even an option for the quarterback position. Now, the Saints did approach Drew last year when the team needed him because of the injuries to the QB room. They did approach Drew Brees last year about coming back. This time around, the Saints can do the turning down or the denying. One good deny deserves another. So we can deny Drew like he denied us last year when the Saints said, hey, man, we need your help. Could you come? Nah, I'm doing this TV thing. So now that we doing our QB thing, nah, Drew, we doing our QB thing over here. Nah, Drew, we straight, bro. We good. Much love to you, though. Appreciate you. But, man, Drew Brees is a straight businessman. We was talking about DC. I say this guy is a revenue businessman. I mean, he was trying to push people on casinos and all type of shit. Drew, you won't put that casino in your goddamn neighborhood, man. Anyway, I say on the Drew Brees situation. And Dennis Allen had the proper response. He thought it was just and just. And I will have to agree with him on that I definitely agree that Drew Brees is just fanciful rhetoric. I don't expect the Saints to even much take what Drew's saying serious about him returning to football, even though he is, and like I said, he's under contract with the Saints. The Saints still have that year on him. So, I mean, crazier and nuttier things happen. We didn't anticipate Drew Brees or the Saints going to Drew Brees last year, but they went to him. What if he would have came back? What if that, let's just pretend for a quick second when Jameis was hurt and then all you had was Taysom, at the quarterback position, and Drew said, you know what, I'm going to go and help my Saints through the team. What would that have looked like? That would have definitely looked real. That would have been something else if Drew Brees would have said, you know what, the hell with this TV stuff, because I ain't really hitting 1,000 at it anyway. Let me go over here and help my squad. I'm on it. I can talk on the TV all the time. Hell, when I'm 50 years old, I can sit up on the TV, but I only have a certain amount of time to play football. Let me go ahead on and do that. What if that would have happened? Boy, that would have looked a lot different, wouldn't it, family, from last year? When they approached him, that would have been something else, man. He could have snuck in there and did the damn thing, but not this time around. We established, man. We established. Drew, keep doing what you're doing, man. All right. And the family members tweeted, well, they commented, said, hell no. And we read it, and of course the team looks attractive now because he's looking at Jarvis Landry, he's looking at Chris Olave, thanks to Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen had the respect to be able to take that and then take that offense and turn that offense into something special. Dennis Allen did that. When Coach Payton had it, it was not so much, of course, we had the injuries, but like I mentioned, there was several times during the season where trades could have been done to improve the wide receiver room. Hell, the Giants was trying to give away Darius Slayton. The Saints could have picked him up for a song, maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick, one or the other. And it just happened that way. Well, and there were many other, gestures toward other teams for wide receivers. They just didn't carry through with it. So anyway, Dennis Allen seen what the offense needed, and he addressed it. He also seen he had no problem approaching LSU prolific players, high-profile players that will come in with high production. And ding dong, the LSU witch is dead. Ding dong, the LSU witch is dead. The witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is, yeah. And it's true, because it was like almost like if Coach Payton would have signed a high-profile LSU player, Jason Voorhees would have came out of the ocean somewhere or from space and came down and just chopped Coach Payton in half. I don't know what was going on with that whole damn thing, but no, Drew, thank you. You had a chance last year, you should have took it, but not this year. No, thank you. All right, so let's move on, fam, to the next thing. New Orleans Saints announced the roster moves for today. Now, remember we was talking about making rights wrong. I think making rights right, not wrong, but making the wrongs right. You see what I'm saying? Kind of got stuck up there for a second. But making the wrongs right. Now, we talked about, like in the past, one of the things the Saints did in making the wrongs right was bringing Malcolm Jenkins back. That was a very big move because the Saints really suffered in the safety area when they passed on Malcolm Jenkins. That year when the Saints didn't even offer Malcolm Jenkins a contract that year. They just went straight out to just let him go. And he said that. They didn't even offer me a contract. I would have stayed if they offered me. And he went to Philadelphia and helped Philadelphia win that championship. Then, a couple contracts later, the Saints were fortunate enough to get Malcolm Jenkins back, and he retired as a Saint, which is pretty cool. But another wrong that I would like to make right is 2 of them. Actually, the Akeem Hicks move, if we can get big Akeem Hicks and bring him back on a cheap deal and have him to play interior, I think that would be cool to bring Hakeem Hicks back. I'm really a big, proponent of that. Also, another wrong move is the acquisition of a fantastic running back by the name of Devon Ezigbo. Now listen, man, y'all know that I've been talking about Devon Ezigbo over the last several years, how good back he is and how he looked in the Saints uniform. Really, that you remember we went back when he first arrived and he was a free agent pickup, the Saints utilized him. He did everything well. He had speed, power. He cut on a dime. Only one thing he did was a fumble, and then we put him in the street. Later on, Coach Payton brought him back. Last year, gave him, didn't use him right and just put him on the street again. Now he's back under Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. So, I mean, it's like, no. And they know talent when they see something. So the Saints announced some moves today to straight from NOLA.com, NewOrleansSaints.com, excuse me. New Orleans Saints announced that they have signed free agent running back Devon Ezigbo and Eric Wilson and waived a free agent, undrafted free agent Cole Cabral and linebacker Joel DeBlanco
and wide receiver Jalen McCleskey. So McCleskey's cut again. That don't necessarily mean that's the end of these guys. Remember, injuries do occur between now and training camp, and they could be summoned to come back to the team. This has happened before, so but McCleskey right now is in the street. So is Cole Cabral and Joel Dublanco, which these were seen as long shot players anyway. And this was made by, the announcement was made by executive vice president and general manager. Y'all know who it is, Mickey. All right, so Devani Zigbo, 6 feet tall, 225 pounds. Zigbo runs really well, man. Put the tape on. Very decisive runner, runs with power, can run through you or around you, catches the ball out the backfield really well, has excellent speed. Love this kid, man. Love the film. Hopefully we can kind of keep him in our running back room and not put him in the street and let Devani Zigbo develop with us. It's his 3rd time being here, so obviously the Saints like Devani Zigbo. They was the first to bring him in the NFL and then let him go. He went to Jacksonville on 2 stints because they knew he was a good back. They just couldn't figure him in. The Saints had an opportunity to get a guy that's familiar with their system, and they bring Devani Zigbo back. I like this. And he's mentioned him at 6'2", 230, originally signed with New Orleans as an undrafted free agent out of Nebraska in 2019. In 3 seasons, Zigbo has played in 21 games for both the Saints and Jags, carrying 11 times for 25 yards, catching 13 passes for 72 yards, while also adding some 4 special team stops in 21 preseason. The Texas native led the Jaguars in rushing with 13 carries for 72 yards and added 4 receptions of 52 yards. And in regular season, Zigbo played in 1 game for Jacksonville, no stats, and 2 for New Orleans, where at Seattle, October the 25th, he carried the ball for -3 yards. He caught 1 pass for a 7-yard gain. So not a lot of usage on Devani Zigbo. But if you go back into the preseason, you'll get a lot of the meat of the topic when we talk about Devani Zigbo, because you see a lot of the footage that happens during the preseason. The kid can play football. We just got to be able to give him an opportunity, and he could have an opportunity in that running back room. Is Devani Zigbo the guy that we've been thinking about? We've been talking about running backs and guys that will work in a Saints system. Now he's coming in here wearing number 20. They say 28. So, but we'll see exactly what it is for Devani Zigbo. I think it's a pretty sneaky good signing for the Saints. And also, like I said, they bring in a linebacker, Eric Wilson, and then put Cole Cabral and Joel DeBlanco, linebacker, and of course, Jalen McCleskey, son of J.J. McCleskey, in the street. All right, let's move on. Talking about Jarvis Landry contract, this is coming from Saints Wire and Mr. Sigler over there at Saints Wire, dropping the scoop on the contract. And this is based on Ian Rappaport's tweet that he tweeted earlier, that the Saints gave Jarvis Landry a 1-year deal with the base value of $3 million. Sources said he can earn another $3 million in incentives, mostly based on individual stats. A good value option for New Orleans, while Landry gets his 1-year deal that allows him to get paid again if he produces. How about that? Okay, so wow, NFL Rappaport shared the details of the Saints' 1-year contract with Landry, which brought the 5-time Pro Bowler home and the man just 29 years of age now, for $3 million, just for $3 million. You couldn't find a better bargain on a top-notch starter wide receiver that was super productive in the last 5 or 6 years in the NFL. His numbers, reception-wise, are up in the top 5, top 6 in the entire league. Then you have a super productive, healthy Mike Thomas that's there. You heard what he said, that him and Mike Thomas are very, very similar, and he does provide insurance in case Mike has a setback or 2 with his injury. Jarvis Landry slides into that position. Chris Olave stays where he is. The Saints young guys come and fill in from up under there, and the Saints keep it moving. The case in point is to get quality wide receivers, quality players that know what they're doing at a premium. The Saints have done that twice. Getting Jarvis Landry for $3 million on a base salary with incentives that can go up to $6 million is the best free agent deal of this year. And Mickey Loomis needs to be commended. Dennis Allen needs to be commended. And all these people out here need to understand, and at least before he even coached the game, you at least respect, or put some respect on Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis and Kai and the rest of them guys for being aggressive. At least they were super aggressive and going after. This was after Payton stepped away, and Payton was everything to the Saints. He steps away. He's supposed to be in free fall. Like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do. Mama, that's like Vinton Harper from Mama's Family back in the day. A lot of our young people ain't gonna remember that. You know, it's like Vinton asking his mama, "Oh, gee, Mama, what are we gonna do?" Well, the Saints didn't sit there doing that. What they decided to do, they came out the gate and just like, man, we're gonna attack. So they contracts, put all the money, worked as many deals as they can get. After they did that, they tried to chase Watson around, and you know that's the only foolish maneuver insofar as, you know, he was just playing games. But what it did do is open up all of the money where the Saints can do this. And I'm gonna show you the Sport Track numbers on the Saints, and they still got double-digit money after signing Landry and Matthew. This is excellent. I mean, this is spectacular. Landry was reported seeking a $20 million per year per average, and some receivers found in free agent. Now, whether that's true or not, that even furthers uplifts Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen in a higher stratosphere. If this guy, even if you believe that or not, was seeking, and they have several reports saying that he was seeking $20 million, and you got him for up to 6, but 3 guaranteed, man. Man, look at here. So for him to sign with New Orleans at a fraction of his initial asking price is remarkable. Maybe some of this is due to Landry taking a hometown. Yet I would agree. I didn't even read this article, but Sigler and I are on the same page with this. This is definitely a hometown discount. But the bigger factor is almost certainly how little interest he received from other teams after hitting the market. Now, he did get some interest, and you expect a guy as good as Jarvis Landry, who's 100% healthy, to at least get 6 or 7 teams that's going after him. You know, Baltimore on the back end, you had the other teams coming in there, holler at him. But it's just awesome, man. All right, thank you, Josh Higginbottom, Tactical Strength and Conditioning. Just hit the subscribe button. That's a long tag, man, but I appreciate Josh Higginbottom, Tactical Strength and Conditioning. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for joining the Sports Coma and the great Saint Tank. Much love to you, brother Josh, and welcome to the fam. All right, let's keep it going. Hopefully Landry does well enough to maximize his value from the Saints' perspective, but they just made a low-cost move to bring in a player with plenty of hides, with plenty of hides on the wall, who's going to be pushing their top draft pick for targets each week. Mike Thomas is still the top dog, but having Landry and Chris Olave in clearly defined roles as receivers is working out of the slot and wide. And this is a great point by Sigler in this article, because he lays out the key term there, which is clearly defined roles. That means nobody's stepping on nobody's feet. We know Mike is the man. We know Jarvis is in the slot. We know Olave is going to be the deep wide receiver. Everybody has a clear, defined role and know exactly what they're going to bring to the team. Excellent point by Sigler on here. All right. And then, of course, working out of the slots, respectively, should do a lot to make Jameis' life a lot easier. And this is true, because it's all about making Jameis' life easier, fam. That's what it's really about, giving him all of the weapons that he could possibly have. And there is no excuses, black and gold. This is a Super Bowl team, and we demand a Super Bowl. It's been too damn long. It's been since 2009 since the New Orleans Saints held up the Lombardi Trophy. That's been so long. That's when Drew Brees had hair on his head, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know how long ago that was? We living in, what year is it? 2022, and that was man, that's been way too long, fam. That's been way too damn long. It's time to make it happen. All right, so that good article right here by John Sigler did a good job on here breaking down the contract of Jarvis Landry. All right, fam. And then, of course, we covered the Drew Brees stuff, and then another one for another guy wishing he was back in the black and gold building. Sean Payton agrees to contract with Fox, former Saints head coach, to have studio role. So Drew Brees get kicked out of NBC. Payton gets brung on by Fox. So, you know, we them old New Orleans guys always trying to find something to do, huh? Former New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton is the newest notable NFL figure to take advantage of the broadcasting boom. And Coach Payton does really well at it. Remember, we was watching footage of him do analytical work for Fox during the playoffs when the Saints lost to the Minnesota Vikings. And what ultimately happened was Coach Payton the next week flew out to San Francisco, where the San Francisco 49ers were playing the Minnesota Vikings. And he was an analyst on that network the next week for them, which rubbed me and a lot of the Who Dat Nation wrong, because how you gonna go up there to San Francisco for that next week playoff game? You just lost to that team. You gonna go out there and tell another team how to beat that team, and you just lost to that team? And then when you get out there, he tells them to run the ball, all of which he said. I could never find that clip. They got rid of that clip. I was looking my ass off to find that clip when he was up there telling them people what they needed to do. Boy, that set me on fire, and I began to set the Who Dat Nation on fire when I seen that shit. I was like, people ain't on this, man. How you gonna go out there and tell them people how to win, and you were telling them what to do? You did the exact opposite of what you telling them people to do. I mean, that set me ablaze. But anyway, Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio reported Payton will sign with Fox and likely assume a studio role on the Fox NFL Sunday show. They need to, because they got a lot of dry turkeys on that show. In January, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler canvassed league executives and asked the coaches to make predictions for the year ahead. One coordinator told Fowler that Payton was believed to be garnering interest from the NFL's media partners. Payton stepped down as the Saints coach later that month, gathering interest. They already knew the inside scoop. And Michael McCarthy of the Front Office Sports reported in February that Fox was discussing a deal with the 58-year-old to potentially have him succeed Troy Aikman, who's another dry turkey, and lead the color commentary. McCarthy reported Payton might earn as much as $10 million a year to sit on your ass and talk about football. My goodness. I guess the recession doesn't affect certain cats. However, Fox ultimately lined up Tom Brady as Aikman's successor with his playing career end. Sitting in the front office television camera may be a temporary occupation for Payton, but Florio reported he may have signed with Fox for just 1 year. That was the plan, and that's what Payton did say, is that he would talk about football for 1 year. He told you the truth on that. And then the next year he would then come back to coaching, and there are several teams that's circulating around him. Y'all know who they are: the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Panthers. So it'll be a bidding war, which is fine for the Who Dat Nation, because we're going to fleece whoever want them. We're gonna fleece your ass for picks, money, players, whatever. If you want them, you're going to have to pay for them. All right. New Orleans Saints rookie Chris Olave learning on the fly with new teammate Michael Thomas. And Michael Thomas already getting down to business teaching this kid. He was teaching him when he was up there in Ohio State. So Mike is see, and this is some of the things that I was, when we gave up the extra draft capital for at the time, we was like, okay, we need to do this, that, and the third. We knew, and we talked about it, the Saints didn't need all of those picks. The team wasn't that in bad of a need where it needed all of those picks. And the Saints obviously knew that they would be grabbing certain players at certain intervals of time by allowing the free agent market to dictate the value of players. And they did that in this entire season. We talked about that. It dictated the value, and it worked for the Saints this year as we were able to land who we want. Now, early on, the Saints did try to get Scantling, and then he got ripped. He got pulled from up under him by Chiefs. Now, if we go back and look at that, fam, we forgot all about that, didn't we? Now, the great part about that is, wasn't it awesome that we didn't get Scantling? I mean, think about it. If we'd have got Scantling, that means no Jarvis Landry. And we probably would have paid whatever they paid. What was it, about $10-something million they paid for Scantling? We missed out on Scantling. Boy, we sure missed the train on that, and end up getting a better wide receiver in Jarvis Landry with better ties, LSU guy in the prime of his career, top 5, top 6 guy when he was healthy and productive in the team. I mean, it just all worked out well this whole offseason. We had certain flirtations with disaster with the Deshaun Watson thing. That went away, and then we was able to use the money to go somewhere else. So we couldn't lose if we tried. In other words, you know what I'm saying? We gave up the capital to get Chris Olave. He's one of the top wide receivers in the draft. You got to give a kid that. He's fantastic. And Mike Thomas been schooling his brother, talking to him and mentoring him since he was at Ohio State, and he continues to do it. So anyway, let's get into the article by Mike Triplett of ESPN. Chris Olave's first day of New Orleans Saints rookie camp technically was Friday, the 11th overall pick in the NFL draft. However, he's already spent most of the past 2 weeks getting familiar with his new running mate, Michael Thomas, and their shared home base of Southern California. which is cool too. I mean, it all works. Thomas welcomed the fellow former Ohio State receiver over FaceTime shortly after he was drafted, then invited Chris Olave to come stay with him and work out. He said, I couldn't turn that down, said the young wide receiver who spent a week and a half with Mike Thomas before flying to New Orleans for the weekend rookie minicamp. It wasn't the first time they had worked out together, though. Thomas shared a picture on draft night from when they had done the same thing a year ago. He says, I feel like exactly a year ago, Olave said this was cool being out there with him and finally being on the same page, same team. It's going to be huge. I can't wait. He said he kind of showed love to me since college. He said, showed me some love. So we text back and forth every now and then. I feel like we have the same mindset. We both want to dominate. We're both competitors. Just when we get on the field, we turn into a different person. Just knowing him and knowing he's on the other side of the field, that's going to make us better and make us go hard. Olave said he likes Thomas' dog mentality and laughed when he said he has seen him up close over the past 2 weeks. He says, I see it, man. I see the way he works. Chris Olave said if he drops a pass, he's punting the ball. He gets mad. But that's who you want to, he said, that's who you want around you. I feel like that's going to make you better. He's going to call you out in your BS. I like Mike as a teammate, even as a person. I understand him, where he comes from. I see why he goes so hard. Chris Olave already counts Washington Commander star Trey McLaurin as a mentor and a big brother that has emulated since they were teammates at Ohio State. And listen, if you watch Terry McLaurin, for those who don't know, he's another fantastic Ohio State wide receiver. That's the best wide receiver that the Commanders Washington had. I mean, he's fantastic, man. And if a good comp is to watch Terry McLaurin's game and you put the film on, a lot of similarities between these guys. A lot of similarities. So that's a good comp. And now he can add Jarvis Landry to his impressive list of mentors. This guy is going to be terrific with mentors like Mike showing him and Jarvis Landry. Olave said he heard the huge news as he was coming off the practice field. I can't wait to learn from them, two legends. Olave said of Thomas and Landry, I just started playing receiver my junior year of high school. Coming here and having Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry help me, I have a lot of room for development. I can't wait to max that out. So, I mean, this is big. He's excited. I'm excited, pounding the damn table, knowing that Chris Olave's learning from Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry. Absolutely fantastic. And this is going to be fantastic. I'm just loving it, man. All right. And then, of course, this was an article that I was going to cover. 3 positions. This is from my good friends at Saints News Network, Mr. Kyle T. Mosley, Bob Rose. 3 positions have question marks for the Saints offense. Saints have head coach Dennis Allen would evaluate 3 positions on offense that have question marks ahead of filling the 53-man roster. And, of course, he goes in and talks about what are those questions. Saints guard, the guard position. Now, according to Kyle T. Mosley, he said that Andrews' injury history and Cesar Ruiz's sporadic play are concerns at the guard position. Pete restructured a 5-year, $57.5 million contract to create $8 million in cap space for the Saints in 22. Also, New Orleans has converted 9.73 of Pete's salary into a fully guaranteed roster bonus. Now, Pete's just 28 years old, and it's the Saints' 2015 first-round draft pick, and it performed well with former left tackle Teron Armstead on the left side of the offensive line. And 2022 will be different for Pete. Coach Payton stepped down. Armstead's in Miami. New left tackle could be Trevor Penning as a rookie, and Dennis Allen is the new sheriff in town. Whereas changes occurred, Pete's veteran presence in New Orleans makes him the elder statesman of the union. Could you believe that? The elder statesman of the Saints offensive line is Andrews Pete. I didn't think about it like that. Now, albeit he must stay healthy and available, last season pectoral injury after 6 contests was problematic in maintaining continuity along the offensive line. Now, the NFL injuries are volatile and difficult to gauge per player. Now, Pete must stay on the field for New Orleans to make a run in the 2022-23 season. Now, on the right side is guard Cesar Ruiz, who has to bring it in 2022. His sophomore campaign was uneven at best. Blown assignments, missed blocks were a few noticeable issues with former first-round picks. Can he improve? Yes, he can. Now, could be a good time for New Orleans to consider signing or trading for a veteran swing offensive lineman to back up Pete and Ruiz. The current backups are versatile with Kelvin Throckmorton. He's a turnstile. Forrest Lamp has potential. He's a former second-round draft pick that played really well, had some injuries out there in Los Angeles, but the Saints got a steal with this guy, and I'm expecting him, after having a full year in the Saints room, to make a push for a starting job. Not Kelvin Throckmorton, but Forrest Lamp. Watch out for Lamp. Ethan Greenwich, I'm not too high on. James Hurst is the swing offensive lineman, and Hurst should not win the starting job at left tackle. He says he should not. And that's coming from Bob Rose, and I agree with Bob Rose what he was saying. Now, what else he got to talk about, Brother Mosley, about other needs? Well, let's talk about it. The Saints tight ends. Do you agree? Now, I want y'all to tell me, do you agree with like what Brother Kyle Mosley is saying about these needs? Is offensive guard a need or our area of concern in your vantage point? Who that nation? What you think? I mean, he just talked about the play of the guards in Cesar Ruiz and Andres Pete. Y'all tell me. Saints tight end group. He has also mentioned in 21 the tight end position was inconsistent. Taysom Hill transitions from Sean Payton's all-purpose Swiss Army knife to a full-time tight end under Dennis Allen. Hill is a matchup nightmare for linebackers and most nickel defensive backs. Sitting behind Taysom are veterans Adam Troutman, Nick Vannett, J.P. Holtz, and Jawan Johnson. Ethan Wolf and Dylan Soner were released on Friday, May the 3rd, and Lucas Krull from Pitt and Kylan Ritchie from Jackson State battled for a training camp spot at the rookie minicamp. Now, both Johnson and Troutman were new NFL tight ends and contributed with first down grabs and touchdowns, but were mainly erratic. Their growth during the training camp as an extra playmaker for Jameis Winston will be significant for the position. Now, Vannett and Holtz are better blockers than receivers. Krull and Ritchie are heavy guys at 250 plus, but both have soft hands and good running routes. It will be interesting to see if one or both of these ends advance past the rookie camp. Now, what I'm hearing is they big on Krull. I don't know if Krull can make some name, but he's crazy, man. But he's an interesting prospect, man. So we like crazy, boisterous tight ends down here. And then the running backs. So let's talk about the running backs. The uncertainty of having Alvin Kamara for a full complement of games in 2022-23 is an issue. His legal troubles in Vegas have no clarity, and the NFL may intercede with a suspension before or during the upcoming season. The 12-year veteran body of Mark Ingram can only dish out and take so much punishment on an 18-week season as finding a reliable running back is a priority. Second-year running back, Notre Dame running back Tony Jones Jr. is a candidate at the backup position. New Orleans has 7-year rusher Dwayne Washington, but his actual value is on special teams. And Taysom Hill could be interested wild card for Pete Carmichael. Still, the Saints are looking at newbie running back Abram Smith from Baylor during a rookie minicamp. Smith is 221-pound bruiser who rushed for over 1,600 yards in 14 games last season. And don't forget the 12 touchdowns. He wasn't asked to catch from the backfield at Baylor, but we know it's a critical asset for the Saints running back, which I've seen film with him catching the ball, which I think he can do. And I expect Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen to address this position before training. And he's right, because they did bring in Devontae Zigbo. They brought him back. So the Saints dealing with him. So thank you, Brother Mosley. Well done article right here. And much love to the Saints News Network family members. All right. And also, fam, before we go, let me just play a little of this interview right here. And people ask me, hey, Q, what's up with these people? I was asked today, shout out to Ryan, man. What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you. Ryan asked me, he's cool, dude. Asked me, hey, man, what's going on? Why do people not like Jameis Winston? And I was like, yeah. But the national media has that type of thinking. And I'm going to play something for you today to make you understand what we be talking about here. And that even don't just be making up shit. Listen to what these national folks say about the Saints and watch the commentary. And also pay attention how the fact that these people are not doing their homework. They're not doing their homework on the teams, and they're sitting up here opinionating when you're supposed to be bringing the facts. And we ain't looking for editorials, op-eds. If you're gonna come bring the stats, bring the facts. Too often I be catching these people up here talking about these teams, and they're not bringing the facts. They just sit up here and opinionate, and then a guy with a half a brain could challenge them and beat them in the discussion. I'm going to play this part of this ESPN take for you guys so you can understand what I mean by what I'm saying about what these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay? All right, so this is the cast of characters, right? So you know who they are. You got Phil Yates, who's the ultimate brown noser. He should have been fired when they went through the initial purge at ESPN. But the guy's a master brown noser. You got Dan Orlovsky, who was one of the biggest Saints haters, but we done worked on Dan Orlovsky to the point where he's pushing for the Saints. He really is. And I got to give Dan Orlovsky a shout out because he used to say dumb stuff. I used to tear him up in the breakdowns. It wasn't hard. You got Mina, who got a Seattle Seahawk. Don't tell me nothing about the Saints with other team shit behind you, man. At least get a neutral background. That's like the chick that talk about that got the jersey of the Dallas Cowboys, whatever, hanging up behind her. And it ain't even some G shit. She just got a hanger with the jersey hanging up behind her with a makeshift light shining off of it. She ain't even got it's not even done put in a frame and done nicely. It's it's exposed to the elements. It's some cheap shit. Don't talk about my Saints if you got a Dallas Cowboy jersey with a light on it behind you. Don't talk about my Saints if you got a damn Seattle Seahawk thing behind you, because whatever bullshit you're going to say is going to be in disrespect to my club. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, and that's of course Shefty on the right. So we're going to listen to what these people are going to say. Well, just her with her commentary, because that really is about her. What she says about Jameis Winston. Y'all listen up close. Put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
I think the team is. I think the roster is actually a Super Bowl caliber roster, but I have a question about whether they have a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. And I say that as someone, you remember, in Drew Brees' final season, because of his limitations pushing the ball downfield, I actually thought Jameis Winston should start back then. And when he did play last year before getting hurt in week 7, he definitely showed some improvements. I mean, there's been a lot of emphasis on the only 3 interceptions. Obviously, that's been a struggle for him in the past, but he was not perfect, completing under 59% of his passes, which was 31st in the NFL. He also struggled sometimes with accuracy, throwing the ball downfield. Now, a lot of that had to do with the limitations the Saints had at pass catcher, and that's obviously an area that they've improved greatly this offseason, especially Michael Thomas coming back. But if we're going to call this Saints team like a legitimate contender or say that they can overthrow the Bucs, I think Winston needs to take another leap, even from what we saw last season.
Well, okay. That's what she just said about Jameis Winston. Now, y'all heard it in kind. Allow me to kindly cook her ass right quick. But first of all, get that bullshit Seattle. Well, I ain't gonna even go there with them sea chickens. And because I like the brother. It got a lot of people that watch the Seahawks, and I got love for the Seahawks fans. So I'm not gonna cook the helmet. I'm just gonna cook her. All right, now first and foremost, she says that the Saints are a Super Bowl team, but the question is the quarterback. And she went straight in on Jameis. Now, she didn't make mention of the fact that if Jameis, the Jameis was hurt due to the fact that a player had a dirty play on Jameis. Jameis was running away and the guy grabbed Jameis by his nameplate and dragged him backwards against his legs, causing the injury. Okay? He was, at that point, Jameis Winston had 14 touchdowns versus 3 interceptions, and the team was 5-2 under his leadership. Okay? And the crazy part about it is she talking shit about Jameis Winston, and the people put the damn stats right up under her goddamn face. Look at look what it's saying. Jameis Winston returning for 3rd season with the Saints. He was 5-2 in starts last season, 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And you can't look down and see that shit. You must not be able to see that. Well, she can't see a lot. She can't see a lot. Obviously, because the reality is the only competition in NFC South that they're saying is Tampa Bay. Now, let me remind everybody, no disrespect to my dog, Big Game James, who represents the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who be on our NFC South roundtable. No disrespect, my brother. This is said with ultimate love from the Who Dat family. But understand, it's like when we start talking about the Falcons, and I got to say that about my dog, Lo. Oh, we started talking about the Panthers with my dog, Rashad and Dave, man. Listen, the reality is this, is that the Jameis, they butthurt about Jameis Winston. They want to say, well, I still have questions about Jameis Winston, and it's because that 3 years ago, he threw 30 interceptions on the year, and I still have questions. See, they can't go back to that moment, but that feeling is still there. There is no justification to ask whether the question is Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, this offense fits Jameis Winston. He can run this offense. His issue is like that Sean Payton wanted his timing to pick up, but that will come as he gets more reps in the offense. And don't forget, Jameis was doing a lot of that stuff being interfered with by Taysom Hill. Okay? That he still had all those statistics and was doing a good job, and he was still being interfered with by Taysom Hill, meaning Coach Payton would put Taysom Hill in there at the quarterback position, and Jameis still was able to do it, to handle the business. He was still able to handle the business. So what can I tell you? Is they want to go back to that Jameis Winston. Hey, I still got questions about Jameis Winston and whether Jameis Winston can lead the team ahead. What? Lady, please, lady, stop it. Stop with this madness. Now watch what Dan Orlovsky, of all people, tell her when asked about this, and her response. It's a half a brain, but a half a brain could pick them apart. Watch this.
Pushback would be they've already overthrown the Bucs the past 4 times they played in the regular season. You know, so like the team has shown that they are a better, certainly in that one-on-one matchup. I think if Jameis Winston plays like average football, they can absolutely be playing for the division title, which is December 5th. They play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, and I think it could be for the division. Listen, Jameis was really good last year without all those pieces. I won't say really good. He made big jumps last year without all those pieces. Now we're adding those 3 pass catchers in Landry, Michael Thomas, and Chris Olave. We should honestly expect the best performance out of Jameis Winston. Right. I will say this. I think the season comes down to their left tackle, Trevor Penning, the first-round draft pick out of Northern Iowa. I don't know. I don't want to pretend I'm a dominant offensive line mind, but I know this. Look at the Saints' history in drafting offensive linemen over like the last 10 years. These guys have become studs.